What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be doing an album review of Tremonti's third studio album, Dust. This immediately follows Cauterize, um, that came out in 2015. This album came out in 2016. Just to give you a quick review, in 2014, Mark was writing a bunch of songs to go on his next album, and he had such a creative spark that he actually wrote 20 songs. So instead of just making a double album, he decided to have two albums with 10 songs apiece on them. First was Cauterize. If you guys want to know my opinion on the Cauterize album, I've already uploaded that video, so make sure to check it out and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Um, and now in 2016, we have Dust, kind of part two of what was supposed to be this double album. So there's not much to say until we jump into the tracks. One thing that's pretty important. Mark did say in an interview before this album was released that these aren't the B sides, or these aren't the leftovers of the songwriting session. It's not like you know all the leftovers got pushed to dust and all the great songs were on Cauterize, or something like that. He wanted to treat each album as their own. Each album, he wanted each album to have their strengths. He didn't want this to be a load reload thing. Not to give my opinion on those albums away too much, because I'll review them at some point. But he didn't want the first album to be great and the second album to suck because it was just leftovers, or vice versa, just depending on the situation. Okay, so let's just get right into it. First song on the album is called My Last Mistake, and ironically enough, this album kind of starts out just like Cauterize did with Radical Change. The riff, although it's not like super complex, it's just really fast and really heavy, and just like doesn't necessarily like draw you in. It just kind of starts with that quick punch. The song is amazing. The riff, like I said, it's not super complex, but it's really fast, and he's doing some little bends at the end of the main riff. It really adds to it. It's really good. The solo is amazing. The guitar solo that he offers on here is absolutely fantastic. The lyrics are very, very good. Very good way to start the album. Very good way. Next song on the album is called The Cage. And this is a pretty interesting song for multiple reasons. First of all, there's this little drum intro that Garrett does, pretty cool. Some people say that it reminds them of a kind of a slower version of the drum intro to Painkiller by Judas Priest, and I can kind of see that. Could definitely kind of see that. It's a very, very good, unique kind of drum intro, and then the riff hits, and it's got like a happy feel. It's got like that. I believe it's in a major scale. I'm not, I guess, like I've said before in my other videos, I don't know like the technical terms just yet, but I believe it's in like a major scale, and it sounds happy, but it doesn't sound like overly joyful or whatever. It definitely sounds like nothing Mark has ever done, and which is always great to hear from an artist. Yeah, I mean the lyrics are good, the riff is really good, and then in the bridge it takes this dark turn. It just like things just drop and get really like gloomy, and then it goes into a fantastic solo by Mark, one of, if not my favorite solos on the album. Yeah, different from Mark, but still really, really good. You can definitely tell he's pushing himself. Very good song. Next song on the album is called Once Dead, and it's got a main riff in there that I just love. Really, really just thrashy, and just really, really speed metal. Just a great riff. Lyrics are okay. Um, Eric actually does. There's two guitar solos on the song, and Eric does the first solo, and it's pretty good. We talked about in my Cauterize video that as opposed to the first album, where Mark kind of put it on himself to like piece everything together. Um, these Cauterize and Dust are more kind of a collaborative like band effort. You know, it feels like an actual band. For example, Garrett with his drum intro, and now that Eric is kind of contributing with solos here and there, it feels more like a collaborative effort than just one guy putting it all together. Yeah, Eric offers a pretty good first solo. The second solo by Mark is probably better. It's just my taste, but let me move my camera up a bit. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Mark offers a really good solo to like send off kind of the towards the end of the song. It's a good song. I like the music behind it a lot. The lyrics are good. Lyrics aren't like great. At least I don't connect with them too well. But overall, good song. All right, next song on the album is the title track, "Dust," and this is. I like to compare the song to Providence off the last album. Um, Very very epic in nature, even though it's like 5.5 minutes. Excuse me. Even though it's like 5.5 minutes, it's very much got that epic feel. Just kind of the slow, kind of the slow build up, the slow soft build up, and then it explodes in like this epic chorus. I don't love the song as much as, excuse me, goodness gracious. Sorry guys. I don't love the song as much as people do, but it's still very good. And then you get to the guitar solo, one of Mark's best solos of his career by far. I mean, just go listen to the solo itself. I mean, if you're gonna listen to the song for nothing else, I mean, listen for the guitar solo. Mark, you can tell, like, kind of like with Providence, how Providence had that very epic feel, and he took a lot of time with that song. Same with Dust, except this song has a much better guitar solo than Providence does. This solo is amazing. Go listen to it. One of the best of his career. Definitely a solid song and worthy of being a title track. All right, next song on the album is called "Betray Me," and this is kind of a more straightforward song. It's about betrayal. The riff is heavy. It's really good. I like it a lot. Um, but yeah, just one of the more straightforward songs on the album. The solo is really good. Mark does like some sweep picking. I believe that's what it's called. It's really good and really fast, and you can tell his fingers are like really close together on the fretboard, just doing a bunch of crazy stuff. Um, yeah, really good. Just a really good, solid, heavy song. Next song on the album is called "Tore My Heart Out," and this is more mid-tempo, kind of mid-paced. Um, it's like it's almost a ballad, but it's not. Um, Once again, a very, very, very good, solid song. Just kind of the riff is good, um, and then you get to the end where it just kind of picks up a bit, and it's kind of that, it's been mid-paced and mid-tempoed up to this point, and then the end, um, the guitars and drums are working really well. It's kind of that little burst of energy before the song ends. It's a great song. I like this song a lot. Mid-paced, but it's kind of like a breather, kind of like Dust was, but kind of like a breather from all the heavy stuff, and It's a great song. I mean, it's not super fast, but it's still a great song. All right, next song on the album is called "Catching Fire," and their intro is really good. I like the main riff a lot. Um, the lyrics are sorry, I'm moving my camera a lot, guys. The lyrics are pretty good. They're kind of like they're not the greatest thing in the world, but they're still like they'll do. The old man is crying. It's kind of like it's, they're kind of odd lyrics, but they do their job. They're good. Um, and then kind of forget what I've said up to this point. You get to the bridge, and my God, that bridge! It kind of draws you in, and you don't really know what to expect because like Mark is kind of doing some like weird broken things on the guitar. Um, Hopefully that makes sense to y'all. Um, and then just the bridge just builds up to this big epic like just pow moment. Just like everything gets released at once. The drums and the guitar are just like perfectly in sync and they're going insane. Just a perfect thrash moment. Even though this song isn't necessarily one of my favorite songs on the album, I mean, just go listen to that bridge. Like, it just explodes, and the guitars and the bass and the drums are just, they complement each other so well, and it's just an explosion of energy, an explosion of metal. It's great. Next song on the album is called Never Wrong, and this can be seen as bit of a filler on the album, even though I like it. I find it decent. I like the lyrics. I like verses are good, but the chorus especially. You will be mine until the benefit is gone. I mean, that is like it very much paints a great picture of like manipulation. Like, I'm literally going to use you until I don't need you anymore, and then I'm going to discard you. Like, what he was trying to get across was very clear and very dark and very well written. Um, yeah, that's definitely my favorite the favorite part of the song. Um, like I said, good decent verses, good chorus. Could kind of be seen as filler, but I like it. It's not fantastic, but I do like it. Um, Next song on the album is called Rising Storm. Um, and this song on paper, um, I would think that I would love it. It's heavy, obviously, heavy as hell. Um, it's got some really nice, like, anti war lyrics, which I love. Just war or like anti war songs, One, Civil War, Holy Wars, War Pigs, songs like that. I love just songs that deal with either war or anti-war. I love that subject in metal and rock. Um, but I don't really know what it is. The song just kind of falls flat to me. Like, I love the intro. It's heavy. Um, I don't know what it is, and I wish I could pinpoint it. But I just can't. The solo is it's kind of decent. I kind of wanted it to be better. Um, it I don't know. This song is decent. I wanted to like love this song. There's something that I can't put my finger on that makes me I'm not a big fan of this song, and I'm not exactly sure why. Um, yeah. Last song on the album is called Unable to See, and this is a very interesting song. He kind of ends the album on like a soft, emotional, kind of inspirational note, which is kind of odd, but like, oh well. Maybe if this song and Dust would have switched places, that's probably how I would have done the track listing. But oh well. Song is very, very good. Just you can tell. I mean, the lyrics are just super personal. Um, you know, being unable to see just kind of someone else's point of view. Like, I don't understand why you feel or think that way, or act how you do. That sort of thing. At least that's what I get from the lyrics. Um, yeah, it's kind of, once again, kind of like mid tempo, kind of like Tore My Heart Out, but different, obviously. I mean, go listen to the songs, but um, yeah, I mean, very good song, very like I said, kind of ends the album on an emotional, just kind of personal, soft note, as opposed to like something that was crushing, or it's this song is like epic in its own way though. So I'll definitely give it that. Good song, good way to end the album, kind of on a last note. All right, so this review is pretty short. Um, so yeah, some closing thoughts. Um, this this album can definitely stand on its own. When you listen to this album, you're not just like, oh, like, Cauterize Part 2, or like, oh my gosh, Cauterize is so much better than this album, or, you can definitely tell that, these are kind of songs that he threw together. You definitely, you don't think about that when listening to Dust. It's definitely an album, even though this is considered like a part two of a double album, sort of. It's definitely an album that can stand on its own. Um, and my second point is, it's kind of like this album is kind of heavier in a way. Um, One point that I really want to bring out is the guitar solos. Um, I was somewhat disappointed, slightly disappointed with the guitar solos on Cauterize. I wanted them to be better, heavier, just like whatever you want to say. You guys kind of get my point. The guitar solos on this album are definitely back. Pretty much every guitar solo is pretty damn good. If not, there's no real guitar solo on this album that's bad. But like I said, the guitar solos are definitely back, and definitely add that extra layer to this album. The guitar solos on this album are great. So yeah, that I feel like I should have more to say, because this is probably the shortest review I've ever done. But yeah, short and sweet, and you guys know my thoughts. So yeah, that wraps it up. Um, don't forget to comment. Let me know what you guys think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Just let me know. All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay safe out there. Uh, you know, we're still, here, at least here in the United States. We've kind of eased up on restrictions some point, but things are still very much going on. So stay safe. Hope your loved ones and family and friends are safe. And God bless you guys. All right. Bye bye.